Hello there. A US court has decided that Donald Trump can't run in the race for president. Is it all over for the Donald? The Colorado Supreme Court has ruled that Trump cannot stand in their state because he is an insurrectionist. But far from being a setback for Trump, it looks more like a desperate throw of the loaded dice by his opposition to try and stop him from being president again by any undemocratic means they have at their disposal. And every time the Democratic Party tries another dirty trick, up goes Trump in the poll ratings. I bet he's loving it. The first problem about this court decision is that all 7 of the judges are Democratic Party appointees. US judges are not independent of politics. But further, the decision was a majority of only 4-3 in favour of banning Trump, and even the head judge disagreed with it. But further, this only bars Trump from the primary elections where candidates are chosen. But the Republican Party has said they'll switch to the caucus method instead, something that will bypass the ban anyway. Then there's the matter as to whether the law they used and interpreted to come to this decision is applicable to the president himself, which he was at the time. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which deals with disqualification from holding office, says, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability." Now, Trump has, as far as I can tell, never been a senator or a representative, nor held any of the other posts included in that section where committing insurrection applies. Trump would have needed to have sworn allegiance as either a member of Congress, an officer of the United States, a member of any state legislature, or an executive or judicial officer of any state. If he was not one of those, then it shouldn't apply to him. He's only sworn allegiance once, to hold the office of president. But the Colorado Supreme Court, by its 4-3 majority, ruled that the President of the US is an officer of the United States. So as Trump swore allegiance to become president, they ruled it also applied to him. But there are dissenting legal views out there saying the president holds an office but is not an officer. Now, you'd think that there would be set answers to this question, wouldn't you? But there aren't. It's an ongoing argument that seems never to have been settled, because it seems there is a difference between someone being an officer of the United States and someone who holds an office, like the US President does. And the wording of Clause 3, which uses both terms, tends to support that view, as do other legal documents. But it seems this clause fell into disuse because of the confusion. Maybe no one envisaged a president being elected directly into office who had never climbed the greasy political pole in the first place. Now, this decision will also be appealed to the US Supreme Court, where the Republicans have appointed most judges, 6-3 of the 9, in fact, and 3 of those were appointed by Trump himself. And a big point is that, as far as I can see, Donald Trump has not actually been found guilty of the crime of insurrection. So how could it apply anyway? Oh, and I'm told that Trump didn't win in Colorado at the last election anyway. So the upshot appears to be that this is one big damp squib that the Democratic Party and those judges would have been well advised to steer clear of. But maybe panic mode is clicking in. But as I said, the more of this lawfare that goes on, the more it seems that Trump gains support. And with talk that Trump might return the lawfare favour onto Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, then the panic could be justified. If you believe that the Bidens have been up to no good, of course. Now, there is talk that US politics needs some new blood, that both Trump and Biden are well past their sell-by dates, so should be forced aside if necessary before the next elections. But the primaries for those start on the 25th of May next year, a tad over 5 months away. Not only is it far too late to change their leaders, is there anyone out there on either side that commands the public attention enough to grab the chance, run with it and win? Not even cackling Kamala Harris can use her time as Vice President to Joe Biden to get anywhere in a presidential race. And no one in the Republican Party has generated any fizz against Donald Trump. So even if Biden and Trump ended up out of the picture, we'd probably end up with two virtual unknown non-entities battling it out for the title of leader of the free world. And would that be any better than Trump versus Biden? At least with Trump and Biden, the US voters and the rest of the world know exactly what they'll get, however flawed they two candidates are as individuals. Better one of the devils you know, maybe. But both parties had better get their skates on and produce credible candidates soon, because neither Trump at 77 nor Biden at 81 are getting any younger. If Trump wins this time, as the polls indicate, he'll have had his 2 allowable terms and won't be able to stand again. And the already doddery Joe Biden would be in his mid-80s. And if Biden pulls off another win, he won't be able to stand again, and Trump would have gone into his early 80s himself at the subsequent election. Would he really be nominated by his party then? Both the main US parties appear to have been asleep at the wheel where succession planning is concerned. Now, I've just seen a video on Twitter by Mike Davies showing that war memorials in London were desecrated a couple of days ago.
This is the Royal Marines Grass Pan Memorial in Pall Mall, and as you can see here, it's been desecrated. People have thrown paint on the Roll of Honour, the names of the people that died in battles. This memorial is a testament to all Royal Marines since 1664. It's where we honour our fallen. And some cowards in the night have come down and they have attacked 4 or 5 monuments around London. The RAF Memorial, Bomber Command 1, the Canadian War Memorial, and I'm told one other, potentially one of Winston Churchill. You know, these people, my message to you is, you're not changing anything. You can throw paint on here, but we'll wash it off. You damage this memorial, and we'll just build bigger ones. The point is, these people gave their lives for our freedom, and you can never, ever take that away from us. We live in the greatest liberal democracy as a result of these amazing people that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Now, you've got yourself in a little bit of problem here. You've got a bit of a problem because you're going to be tracked down by the authorities. You've obviously got here using public transport or vehicles, and you will be found. My message to you, for your own sake, is that I hope that the police find you before the Royal Marines do.
Now I wonder who could be responsible for all that.